An air handling unit provide air to ventilate commercial premises or domestic premises or even industrial premises. So human beings are not just like a piece of meat to be cool in an abattoir. The air should not only be cool, but it should be clean. So if you respect people, you will not just cool the environment like you cool a refrigeration equipment, because the human being, as I said, it is not like a merchandise. This means respect for people. Today I want to talk about domestic boilers. Not about everything, only I want to talk about only why sometime your kitchen or the place where the boiler it is fixed is flooding. Why the pressure goes too high. So let's start to the beginning. So the engineer choose the boilers and then he will fit the power circuit. Then we have to make sure the meter gas it is good enough for our project. Actually, this will be the first thing we do before we even choose a boiler. For heating agent, obviously we need a highway, so we have to build the pipes. We have to make sure the pipes are thick enough, we have the appropriate pressure, and the design volume will not over exceed the expansion vessel's capacity to secure the elasticity of the system when boilers go from whatever 7, 8, 10 degrees to 70. This type of boilers, it is Combi. It's heating the water instantly for domestic water and it's got a separated circuit for central heating. So after we install the pipes and we make sure that the volume it is well calculated for the water and the pump can support the appropriate circulation, and our main cold water supply have enough pressure to lift the water to whatever floor we want, we feed the pipes and then we install the tops and the radiators. After we do the pressure testing and make sure we don't have any leak, we open the main cold water supply and also we'll open the installation filling valve, and the installation it is ready to go. A professional gas registered engineer will install the gas to the boilers and will commission the boilers so accident will not happen. As you'll see now, we enable the gas meter and the engineer will give you a commissioning certificate and a safe certificate that complies with the regulation. Now we turn the boilers on for the first time, so the boiler will have a health check. You will check all the parameters, if all the sensors are okay, if the water pressure it is okay, if so actually the boiler has got a printed circuit board and the software allows the boilers to have an electronic self-check to see if every item that must send signals to the PC board it is healthy. If everything it is okay, the printed circuit board will initiate the pump that will circulate the heating agent. The flow switch will send an information to the printed circuit board telling it that the circulation it is okay. Then the boiler will start to heat and the radiators will start to get hot. This is a system which provides instant hot water in need, but this is not a commercial system, so you do not have a ring circuit for the hot water. You have to wait a little bit until the hot water will reach from the boiler to the tap. But anyway, this is an instant hot water boiler. It's a Combi one. This is the same boiler like the one I showed you before. But people always want to control the temperature a little bit better. There's not enough to turn on the boiler and to rely on this heating agent thermostat which is fitted on the boiler. You need to have a timer and the room thermostat. As you hear, here we have a room thermostat and a timer which have a central heating and the hot water. You not necessarily have to use the water heating section of the timer, because this is an instant water heater, and if no one will ever turn on the tap, the boiler will never provide hot water. However, Most of the timers come with that functions too, which are used for system boilers. With this new system in place, there's not enough just to enable the boiler. You really have to have a demand from the thermostat and from the timer. This is it when you use a timer and the room thermostat. However, to use the hot water, there's enough to turn on the tap, because the boiler have inside a system which will sense the fact that the domestic water is needed, and it will enable the hot water system. Sometime when you use your boilers, you might have the bad luck that the pressure relief valve will allow water to drip from the boiler. This is a very bad luck. This happens in two cases. If you have a new installation, you have to speak to your technician if you calculate very well the volume of the water that needs to be heated. Although you have to check if the pressure vessels has been properly pressurized. That will be inside the boiler. If you'll take the lid of the boiler, you will see the pump and the pressure vessels, the heat exchanger, and there's a lot of things here, but let's focus on what we're interested at the moment. The ball painted in red, it is the pressure vessel. So if the installation is incorrectly calculated, that pressure vessel is supposed to take the extra volume generated by the water heating process. Now if the vessel is too small, which does not right, because when you choose the boiler he will have a standard pressure vessel, it is bad. But if the volume of the water you want to heat, you have too many radiators, you might need a secondary pressure vessel just to control the system's elasticity. And this can happen because of another reason. If you have a very badly contaminated heat exchanger and the water is not circulating very fast, you might have a boiling water inside your heat exchanger, and then the pressure into the system will raise considerably. As I just said before, if the installation is too big, there might not be nothing wrong with the boiler, and the pressure vessel, then regardless how much you will want to pressurize it, you can't, because if you will heat a large quantity of water and you choose not to use the appropriate pressure vessel, or to have an extra pressure vessel to take off the extra volume generated by the water when heated, then the pressure will go into the red side, as you will see on this gauge, and then the pressure relief valve to protect you will allow the residual quantity of water generated by the pressure to leak from the boiler. Here you will see the relation between the pressure vessel and the bigger pressure, but as I said, it's not necessarily a wrong pressure vessel. However, it can be the pressure vessel after months or years can lose the property to hold the pressure, because the bellow rubber inside might be damaged or maybe lost the air. So every year when an engineer do your boiler assessment, it will be a good idea to check the pressure vessel, but I will not explain to you how to do this. A professional engineer will know how to do it. Too many radiators in your system will create the same issue. You have a good pressure vessel, but you have a huge volume, so the pressure vessel will be over-exceeded, and you will take the volume till the point where it can, then your pressure will increase, and then you will have a leak. Finally, if you haven't been explained, when you charge the system with water, because you know you will have a manual charge where you have to open two taps to allow the water to fill your installation. When you lose a little bit of water, if you charge it too much, then the pressure, when the water will heat up, it will go on red. And they four main things which can happen. Number one, you can charge the system too much when it's cold, and when it will heat with water, the pressure will exceed, because the pressure vessel won't be able to take such big volume. You have a large installation, larger than the pressure vessel can handle. You have a faulty heat exchanger is contaminated, and because of that the heating into the heat exchanger is very aggressive. You'll create some steam mixed with water, you'll hear some hammer knocks inside, and that will increase the pressure. So saying this, what can I say? I wish you good luck with your system, and I hope you'll never have this type of trouble to flood your home, or to have extra big pressure, or to have a boiler problem. As I said before, these videos I do they for free. I don't want a coffee, I don't want £1, I don't want advertisings. There's nothing. I'm going back to work every day. I do this for my pleasure, and I'm not a professional engineer. I'm just sharing some of my experience with my fellow colleagues which work hard, and I'm watching a lot of videos on YouTube, videos put in there by smart people which try to help other people, and I have a strong feeling in my heart that if we'll join together as technicians, we will never be abused and screwed by solicitor, accountants, all big corporations which diminish our wages until the point where it's pointless to work. So you're a gas engineer or HVAC engineer or electronic engineer or control, you go to do proudly your job, and I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'll be very happy if you guys put some of your experience on the internet so I can learn too. Thank you very much.